What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am building another house for a challenge, and this one is for the Toddler challenge. A couple of people have asked me to build a house for the Toddler challenge, so I think that challenge, I mean it's been around for a long time, but I think that a lot of people recently have been taking on that challenge again, I think, because there's like 3 or 4 people that asked me if I could build a house for the Toddler challenge, and I thought that would be a lot of fun to do. So basically what the Toddler challenge is it's very simple, or at least the rules are very simple. You're going to have one adult sim, and that sim is going to have to bring up 7 toddlers. So your household is going to be full of those screaming little demons. And then there's going to be one adult, and you are going to have to just bring them up and make sure they have the best childhood as possible, I guess. So yeah, that's definitely the challenge, because me personally, I'm playing the 100 baby challenge right now, and I can only handle 2 toddlers at a time. So let alone taking care of 7 toddlers at a time, that is going to be crazy and so chaotic. And yeah, basically, if you're going to play that challenge, good luck. I built you a little house and I hope you have fun with it. So what I did is I built a tiny house. It's a tier 3 tiny home. So technically it's a small house. I used exactly 100 tiles for this one. So you are going to get some of those perks that come with the tiny living pack. I forget exactly which perks come with which tier, but I think you're going to get 2 or 3 perks when you're living in a tier 3 small home that is 100 tiles, somewhere between 64 and 100 tiles. And this one is exactly 100 tiles. I definitely did need all the space because I gave the toddlers 2 bedrooms in total. I do realize I did do the layout of the house before I moved back to the outside that you can see me do right now. When I was figuring out the floor plan, I do realize I miscounted, so I placed 8 toddler beds, and I based the rooms off of 8 toddler beds, but I did realize I miscounted as soon as I moved on to the inside. So I ended up needing 2 bedrooms for the toddlers instead of 3. So that was very nice. That meant that I could give the mom her own separate bedroom, and I didn't even need to give her the Murphy bed or anything. I could just give her her own separate little bedroom. It's very small. There is a double bed in there, but it's definitely against the wall, so only 1 sim can get into the bed, or 2 if the scoot over trick works for you, but you're not gonna have 2 adults for this challenge because your household is already full with 7 toddlers and 1 adult. So I figured that was all alright. You don't really need to have a place to sleep for 2 adults for this challenge anyway. So that worked out all very, that just worked out well. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is a tier 3 small home. It's exactly 100 tiles. I did change the outside coloring, as you can see, because whenever I try to build a tiny house that is a little bit more colorful, or that I just want to look a little bit more playful, I always gravitate towards using the green siding because, I don't know, green is it's definitely my favorite color. And whenever I am building a more colorful house, I'm always like, you know what, colorful, I'm going to make it green. And then all my colorful homes end up being green. So for this one, I decided to go with a more neutral orangey wood tone combined with gray brick. And I really like the way that it came out. I really like the color scheme combined with the white details, the white columns and the white roof trim and the white windows and stuff like that. I did keep the green front door because I thought that that shade of green and that shade of orangey brown on the outside of the house really complement each other. I really like those tones together. So I decided to keep the green door, but that's all the green that I kept as far as the outside of this house goes. So you can see me now just playing around with some landscaping. I did really make this house look all pretty with a lot of landscaping. Not too much, but there's definitely still, there's a lot of greenery, a lot of flowers going on the outside. And I fenced in the backyard completely because, well, I figured you're not going to want to lose your toddlers. That's not a thing that happens in The Sims, but still, I just wanted this house to look a little bit more realistic in that sense. So I fenced in the backyard, which was very suitable for this house, and I kind of made the backyard into a toddler playground. Basically, there's a lot of items that we got with the toddler stuff back in there. That stuff back really came in handy for this build, obviously because it's a household full of toddlers, but I don't tend to use a lot of things from that pack. Well, actually, I do use those like throw pillows that you can put on the floor and the toy box a lot, and I did use those items in this house as well. But you can see that I ended up with 2 bedrooms in total for the toddlers. I will decorate them a little bit later on, but I just placed those beds in there from the get-go because I needed to have a sense of how much space I needed. I mean, I can figure that out without the beds too, but with the beds in there, it's just a little bit easier. But those beds are in there right now just for those purposes, and I will move on to those toddler bedrooms and decorate them a little bit later on. But the layout of this house really worked out very easily. I really like the layout of this house. It's very simple, and it makes a lot of sense because I didn't want this house to be very, suitable for gameplay and just easy to play in, so I didn't clutter it up too much. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still definitely very cluttered still, but for example, the kitchen, it's not really too cluttered because there is only one counter left for your Sims to prepare food on, so I didn't clutter that counter up at all. And I don't know, I just really like the look of it. It's very clean and neat looking, but looks still very lived in, so that was nice. And I only placed down 1 high chair because, I don't know, I personally, whenever I have toddlers in my household, I barely ever use the high chairs. And if you're going to have to feed 7 toddlers, I doubt that you're going to use the high chairs because that just takes forever before you have your toddler in there with food, eating, and everything. I don't know, those chairs are a little bit too glitched out for gameplay, in my opinion, especially when you have 7 toddlers in your household. So I just placed 1 for the sake of the realism of the house. You can also add more, of course, because there's 3 regular chairs around the dining table. So you could even switch out 2 of those for high chairs and have 3 high chairs in total if you want to, but I mean, I definitely left the option there for you, but yeah, I figured it wasn't necessary to do that myself. So I just didn't. And here you can see me decorating. The tiny living area is definitely very small, but I did make sure that there is a lot of toys laying around. I cluttered the place up with a lot of toys, and I placed a toy box there and just a couple of seating areas for the toddlers so that they can just hang out there. And I also made sure to place down a stereo or a CD player or whatever you want to call it so that the toddlers can just walk around and bop to the music. I always think it's so cute when they do that. I love that animation. It's so cute. And it also gets their movement skill up quite fast. So I thought that would be handy to do that. And here you can see me placing down the furnishing for the mom's bedroom. In the beginning, I was not planning on giving her separate bedroom. I thought I would just place a bed in the corner there and just not close it off at all. But then I figured I did have the space to close it off, so why not? Why not just give the mom her own separate bedroom? It is very small, but still very cozy. I did make sure to just clutter it up a little bit and make it lived in and just make it very cozy. Just her private little area. I have no idea when the mom of 7 toddlers would have time to enjoy time by herself. I don't think that's the thing whenever you're playing this game. But still, I just like giving the mom her own little bedroom, and I just gave it a little bit more color. The rest of the house, I used those crisp white walls, which I think look very neat and very nice. I've been recently really enjoying using white walls in my homes because it looks so crisp and clean, and just, I don't know. It just looks very nice in my opinion. I did also add a bookcase in the living room so that your sim can just read a book to the toddlers or just read a book themselves. I said that I furnished this house for a mom and 7 toddlers, but obviously it could also be a dad and 7 toddlers. It really doesn't matter. And I don't even know if the mom or the dad would be the actual parent of all the toddlers. I mean, probably they are, but is it going to be all their children, like biologically? I don't know. They could have, like, maybe there is one kid of their own, like 6 foster toddlers or something. I don't know. Could be any kind of storyline. I just basically furnished this house so that it is usable for the toddler challenge. And yeah, I hope that you like this build and I hope that you find it usable. If you do, and if you are going to use this house for the challenge, please let me know, because I love hearing your experiences with my builds, or I just love to know if you're going to use it. You can always let me know. I did place 2 potties in the bathroom here. There's only one bathroom, obviously, because it's a small house, so I couldn't really fit any other bathrooms. But as you're only going to have one adult taking care of the toddlers, you can also just only bathe your toddlers one by one. So I figured you're not going to need more than 1 tub in the house. And then I placed 2 potties, which is not a lot. But I mean, I think it'll be enough. And if there is no free potty for the toddler that needs to go to the bathroom, they can always just use their diaper. I mean, that's what the diapers are for, and it's going to be fine. But still, yeah, I just made sure to place down at least 2 potties, so I was really happy that I could do that. And here you can see me furnishing the first of the 2 toddler bedrooms. This one is, I went with a lighter theme for this one. There's a lot of lighter colors, pastel colors in here, and the other toddler bedroom is more of a darker theme room, but you'll see that later. So this one basically is just very light and bright and airy and lots of lighter pastel colors. I did make sure to place a lot of just toys laying around everywhere in the house, as I mentioned. I placed a couple of those tablets, those toddler tablets everywhere, and I placed a few of those building blocks in the bedrooms. And I also placed down, I think, 3 different variations of the Blarfy in total in the house. So there should be plenty of activities for all the toddlers to do around the house. I made sure that every free corner, every free piece of wall, basically, that I had, I just placed down something to do for the toddlers. But here you can see that I moved on to the other toddler bedroom. This has more of a darker theme going for it, and this one is definitely my favorite, probably because I got to use a lot of greens in here, and as I mentioned, green is definitely my favorite color, so whenever I get to use the color to decorate a room with, I am very happy. And I just combined the green with a lot of yellow and orangey tones and wood tones in here. And I don't know, I really love the vibe of this bedroom. I think it's so cute. It also kind of has a little dinosaur theme going on in here. I placed the dinosaur Blarfy in there. It's not called the Blarfy, but I mean, it has the same things that you can do with it as the Blarfy. So that's why I'm calling them all Blarfies, but I just placed the dinosaur in there, and it also has the dinosaur wallpaper, and I just thought that was very cute. But that was basically it for the inside of the house. I moved on to the backyard of the house. As I mentioned earlier, I just basically turned this into a playground for the toddlers. I used that slide. I gave them a little sand pit here that I also placed a dollhouse in. And I also used that playhouse from Toddler stuff. So basically, it's not the prettiest backyard because I personally don't really like the look of those toddler items. But I mean, for this house, they're perfect. And I was very happy that I had the chance to use those items in one of my builds for a change. But yeah, you can see it basically looks like one big playground for toddlers, which is very useful for this type of challenge, I believe. And here I just did a little bit more landscaping, placed a couple of cutesy things around the house to make it look a little bit more playful. But that was basically it. We moved on into the screenshots, as you can see. I hope you enjoyed this build. You can download it off the gallery, of course. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. My handle is Simmarysims on there as well. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!